Okay, so we're on. So guys, thanks a lot for being here. If you've never been part of a Zoom hangout, welcome to your first hangout. This is really cool technology where it enables us to come together in this face-to-face environment. I know there are some that are actually just calling in, which is fine as well. My name is Don Murphy. If I haven't met you before, founder of Team Euphoria and 6-star Diamond Coach. And I have with me here today a very good friend and counterpart in Team Beachbody, Renee Teller, who is a 4-star Diamond Coach. And Renee and I are both health club owners. So we'll put that out there right away. We both own fitness facilities. Our gyms are a bit different from one another. I'm a Gold's Gym franchise owner in Newburgh, New York, and Renee owns what is known as Trillium Health and Wellness Center in Syracuse. It's a smaller facility of maybe about 300 members, and our club in Newburgh, New York has about 8,000 members. So two different models of fitness facilities, but both do quite well. And when I became a Beachbody coach and was introduced to Shakeology, I said to myself, wow, what a wonderful nutrition tool to possibly offer to members in our gym. And I contacted Renee, knowing her background as being extensive in the world of nutrition, and I shared with her Shakeology, and she took a look at it, and she'll speak in a moment about her thoughts on the quality of Shakeology and what she's done with it. And as a result of this, Renee and I both offer Shakeology as a nutrition tool in our health clubs. And it's a nutrition tool that does a lot of great things for people. And we all know how good Shakeology is and its benefits. So there have been many coaches who are part of our teams who have reached out and said, hey, how do I sign up a gym owner? Or can I sell Shakeology through a yoga studio or a coffee shop or something of that nature? And the answer is yes, for the most part. And I'll talk about what types of facilities are eligible and not eligible for retailing and selling Shakeology. But the point that Renee and I want to make right off the bat here, guys, before we jump into this, is that this is not, or we strongly would not recommend this becoming the primary way that you would choose to build your Beachbody business. Signing up a health club or a yoga studio or some type of fitness facility to sell and offer Shakeology to their members and clients is certainly something that is good to have. If you have a gym owner that comes up underneath you, that's great. But it's certainly not how this business is built. And Renee and I learned that the hard way. If we could go back in time and reinvent the way we started out our businesses, we would have changed some things very quickly, because we were trying to take this route of going after gym owners. And what we found was that it is a completely different world than the Beachbody coaching world. And most health club operators are not going to take the time to wrap their head around Beachbody coaching. Okay, they have many other, call it priorities and business initiatives that are first and foremost on their minds. So the question becomes, well, first off, why have Renee and I done so well with it in our own gyms? And two, if you did happen to have an eligible business in your area, a fitness center, a yoga studio, something of that nature in your immediate area, how could you consider approaching the owner to do what Renee and I have done in our gyms? And that's what we'll talk about. But this is not to be taken as take this and run with it and build your business this way. This is a secondary strategy. Your primary focus as a Beachbody coach, first and foremost, if you want to build a substantial business, is one person at a time impacting their lives. And that's done through challenge groups and fit clubs. So with that, I want to turn it over to Renee, and she can just kind of share with you her story, how I introduced Shakeology to her, and what she has done with this nutrition tool in her facility. And then I'll also share a bit about mine. And then once we've done that, we'll provide you with suggestions on how you would consider speaking to a local business in your area about offering something like Shakeology. And when we talk about these different businesses that are eligible, if you look at the coach policies and provisions, there is a clause in the policies, I'm not sure which one it is exactly, it's in there though, on what you can and cannot do when it comes to retailing any of the Beachbody products, including Shakeology. And in order for something like Shakeology or any of the Beachbody products to be sold on site via quote unquote retail, the business has to have what is known as quote unquote private clientele. In other words, it cannot be a business that's open to the public for anybody to just walk in and buy something. That's why, public coffee shops and vitamin shops and GNCs, those are public businesses where the general population can walk in and buy products. Shakeology cannot be retailed in those environments. But places like health clubs and doctors' offices, dentists, yoga studios, martial arts centers, gyms, they have customers that are paying to be there. They're members, they're clients that pay to be in those businesses. Then the Beachbody products and programs like Shakeology can be retailed on site. All right. If you have any questions, whether or not the places you might be thinking of are eligible, please reach out to your upline or myself or Renee to say, hey, is this an eligible facility for me to approach? Okay. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Renee, and she can share with you, really what has been just a tremendous journey using Shakeology and Ultimate Reset in her wellness center in Syracuse. So go ahead, Renee. Let me unmute you here and take it away.
Okay. Thanks, Don. Thanks everyone for being on the call, and Don for giving me this opportunity, because Don knows, and why he approached me is that my whole heart is about spreading the word in the world. And I say that, very genuinely, and, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. But the most important thing that you all are doing and that we're doing together is getting the word out about how to be healthy and how to prevent disease, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We want to approach health clubs because we want them to get it. And the sad reality is a lot of them don't get it. We opened our wellness center 16 years ago, and it was called a wellness center 16 years ago. And 2 years into it, I had to change the name to a fitness center because people were calling me up for mammograms and doctor's appointments and things like that. And that isn't what we do, but people don't understand today even the word wellness. Don called me, and I'll be honest, he didn't pick me specially. I mean, we're very good friends and we've been friends a long time, but Don called all the gym owners that he knows, and most of you his history, and he has a very strong connection in the fitness industry, having grown up in it from before he was born with his mom, being a gym owner. So he called everybody. And Don, how many gyms would you say that you signed up?
In my first 6 months as a coach, I signed up 35 gyms. Okay.
And how many ran with it? Renee,
Lee Poses. And when I say ran with it, I'm talking about they've really promoted Shakeology the right way among their members. I can count them on one hand. It's probably 3. The other ones have just gone away.
So I start with that, and I'll tell you why I'm successful and why Don's successful and why Lee is successful. Can anybody guess the one word? And I know you're all muted. There's one word, one reason. The word's belief. Right, Janine? I see you there. It's belief. Write that down seriously, that the success of your entire Beachbody business is going to be based on how many people we can convince that this is the truth that this wellness path is the way to live a beautiful, long, healthy life, right? They've got to believe. And the problem with approaching gym owners is they don't believe. I mean, it seems so sad, but you listen to Don's percentages of the gym owners that ran with it, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that some of them do believe and don't have the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm not trying to bash them all,
Right.
but I can also tell you that they don't understand the level that I understand. And frankly, you know, in the years that I've been around Don, you know, have been able to impart a lot of that knowledge to him as well, growing up in conventional fitness.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain my background, because it's not like Renee's so great and she had it all together, because I didn't. I was a CPA and a finance person, and I worked in a lot of different fields, but suffice it to say that I did big financing deals with the Wall Street guys. That was my life. I ran hard. I ran fast. I was at work at 5:30 every morning. I came home at 9 or 10 at night. My son was raised by a nanny. I had a big, fat, ugly life, running after the American dream. And I had 4 sisters. I still have 4 sisters. One of them was even a 4-year college degreed fitness professional, exercise phys. One's a professional golfer. I mean, we're talking athletes. We're talking a family that got fitness. And I was a professional cheerleader, so that's fitness. But I mean, I was very much interested in fitness. But until my 60-year-old mom was diagnosed with an incurable cancer, I didn't get it. She was diagnosed with breast cancer at 50, and 10 years I lived with that, still not fully getting it. But when I was thrown into a world where her only remedy was getting down and dirty with our bodies and with our health, that was baptism by fire, as they say, right? I was on a fast track to save my mom's life. You know, I'd been on a fast track my whole life in business, and now I was on a fast track to save her life. And it was incurable. It was untreatable. Her wonderful oncologist for 10 years could offer us nothing. And I'm the kind of person, obviously, if you're a Wall Street kind of person, you're not going to say never, ever. So I was going to find a solution. And I found a solution. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't totally embrace it. I believe, and I can look all you guys in the eye and say, I believe my mom could have probably been saved or even lived, you know, another 15 years. She lived 5 years with incurable renal cell carcinoma because she did some of the things. But guess what the problem was? It was her belief, right? So when she got sick, her belief could not catch up with the fear of the disease. And that's why Renee is so passionate with all you guys about trying to get you to embrace the belief of what we have here and how we can, you know, charge up hills and reach people before they're sick. Because if we can get them healthy and believe before they get sick, we probably can do a lot to save a lot of people and have them have great, great, wonderful lives. I see, Angela, that obviously this is all hitting home with you, honey, and it's probably that you share my story, right? You have been in that. Everybody in this call has been touched with cancer with someone that they love. It's not leaving any stone unturned. It's been 17 years since my mom's journey began. And in that day, they were saying, like, by the year 2000 that, you know, 1 out of 3 would have cancer, and it's going to 1 out of 2, right? 1 out of 2. So we need to believe, and we need to get serious, and we need to understand the magnitude of what we're doing here, right? So when Don called me, it was after 10 years of my wellness center and Don getting to know me, and he said, you need to look at the shake for me, Renee, because I know what you know. And guess what I said to him? Not talking to you. I'm not talking about another piece of garbage out on the market because the world doesn't get it. And unless you throw your wheatgrass through the juicer and your kale and your spinach and your greens, I'm not going to talk about it. That's it. I'm a purist. But guess what? In my at that time, probably 10, 12 years of my wellness center, I was having a hard time getting people. If I convinced them of the belief, it was really hard to do the stuff, right? Do the wheatgrass, do the juicing. So Don, you guys know Don, he's persistent. Hang on, I got to shut my door. My lawn guy's here. I cut down a little bit, but so Don, and he's persistent, and he said, Renee, would you just look at it? And I said, I'm not even going to look at it. Tell me the ingredients. And Don started reading the ingredients. And he was reading things like chia and amaranth and quinoa, and which you might have even called quinoa back then, Don. And all that kind of stuff, right? And he's reading me the ingredients, and I said, okay, you've got my attention. I will research it. I called him the next morning, and I said, sign me up, sign my son up, sign my husband up, sign my sister up.
It's a good call.
What's that?
That it was a good call from me.
Yeah. Emerald in a Day. It's called Emerald in a Day. Why? Because I believed, right? I had knowledge, and then I believed. And we signed up. Now, I'll tell you, because if you've ever met accountants, right? Everybody raise your hand. You don't look like an accountant. Tell me I don't, right? I don't have the green eye shade. But if you know accountants, we're really kind of odd people, and we're not easily convinced or led. So to be honest with you, I was so skeptical. I didn't believe what was said on the bag was really in the bag. But I mean, legally, you can't do that. Like, how silly of me. So I had to meet the players to be. The other thing that bothered me, for those of you who understand my world, is that Don, only shared with me what existed, which was 2 flavors, chocolate and greenberry. And I thought, oh, well, maybe greenberry is better. It was the same ingredients. And what was my problem with those 2? No vegan, right? I mean, I was still okay with whey for some people, but that's not how I lived, right? I was drinking at the time a sprouted brown rice protein. And so because I understood that this company got it, I was saying to Don, can you get me in touch with the CEO? I need to teach them. I need to teach them more, right? Thinking that they didn't know what the sprouted brown rice protein could do. Guess what? About 45 to 60 days later, I think, Don, strawberry vegan came out. Yeah. And I was like, and I'd call Don, and I'm like, they know what they're doing. We have a company here that knows what they're doing. They really do. And I got really more excited. Guess what happened after that? About 90 days after that, this Ultimate Reset came out. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of deflated, because finishing the rest of my story, what did we do with Mom? I spent 5 years traveling the world, admitting myself as a cancer patient in naturopathic clinics, because my mom couldn't do it. She did one with me, but I went clinic to clinic for weeks on end, allowing my body to go through what they put a cancer patient through. So I got detox, right? Those on the phone that get detox, I understood it at the deepest level. And I immediately got deflated, because I said, there's no way that someone could really make an at-home product that was good enough to detox somebody. And, you know, once I got through some of those clinics, I would go online when I wanted to do some things at home and investigate other detox things that people were putting on the market. You guys all know, once a buzzword spreads, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, right? Everybody creates a piece of garbage that they call detox, but it's not good. I'm just saying, it's the way our world is. Everything's about the almighty dollar. So I ordered the Ultimate Reset, right? Because I was putting my little new company on a pedestal, and I wanted to keep it there. So I ordered the box. I opened the cover of the box, and those of you who've done it know that there's pictures of all the powders. And I opened the box, and I know those pictures, right? I know what those things are because I know this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't believe these guys. Holy crap. Oh my God. You know, I started looking at the book that they created, the wonderful recipe book, the ingredients in the back that listed all the beautiful things that I had spent years learning. I mean, seriously, I was in tears. I was in tears that a company, first of all, understood, and secondly, decided to find a way to create products for mainstream America. Because let's face it, everybody's not going to go spend $5,000 a week to enroll in a cancer clinic when they don't have cancer. We save those kind of big ticket items for after we're sick, sadly. But guess what we can do now? We can teach everybody before they're sick. We can get them to do these products. Okay, raise your hand if you don't think I'm a believer. Right? So what happened in my wellness center, different from Don's other 35 to 50 fitness centers? What happened? What does an owner do, right? Get my staff in a room. And they know this, but keep in mind, I don't have a staff of 30 people that understand at my level how to reverse disease. It's not needed. That's not what we're doing there. We're actually helping mainstream America to start believing in some of this, start embracing some of it, and walk baby steps toward my belief. So I got my staff together, and what did I do? I educated them, right? I taught them what I just shared with you at a very deep level. So, and what else did I have them do? I had them drink the shake. I had them go through the detox. The point of the story is, number one, to educate you. Number two, to let you know that there are not a lot of people that are going to do that. You know, Don sits with me. He listens to me, he loves me, and he embraces what I say, and then he takes that back to his world. But Don's an exception. We've both signed fitness centers. I share this with them. You know what part of the issue is, guys, is it's hard work, isn't it? It's hard work. Number one, it's hard work to live the lifestyle. I mean, we know as fitness people, it's hard work to stay in the game. What Don does as a Les Mills trainer presenter, you know, it's hard work. He's got to stay in shape. He's got to be at it every day. This is pretty much the nutrition side of hard work, to really live and eat truly clean, right? So the gym owners, it's not everybody's willing to do the work. Let me just say that. So what you need to look for when you go to the fitness center owners is that heart. You need to develop a relationship with them like Don and I had, and then and therefore they will listen to you, right? In the beginning, when you approach one of these places, if you say some of your buzzwords like, you know, wheatgrass, and they don't know what wheatgrass is, or chia, or amaranth, or quinoa, or, you know, some of these ingredients, and they don't know, all hope is not lost. You just assess the mountain that you have in front of you to climb. And what Don's point was in the beginning, and my point is, we have to pick our battles, right? We have to decide, as we're growing our business and reaching the people we want to reach, who can we get to quickest, fastest, right? Who's going to embrace it and help us spread the word? Because Renee is not going to do this alone. First thing I said to you is how great it was to be on the call, because now I get to share this passion and hopefully light a fire under you guys to get you re-excited to go out and do what I'm doing. Because I'm not going to hit the country alone. And the greatest thing for me when I got all through with Don Murphy and this venture was, oh my gosh, 15 years ago, God told me that I was going to take this passion across the country. Now I see how it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen by me touching Angela, touching Cottrell, touching Don, touching Janine, right? That's how we're going to do it. So, what do you think, Don?
I'm speechless. Like, I am just so blown away by your.
It's heart, Don. It's all heart, right? Yeah. So, coaches, what we're charged to do, you've been picked. You're on this call for a very specific reason. You know, we've got 1,000 coaches or whatever. You've been picked. You've been picked to hear the message today. You're going to be a star with this. And you have Don and myself behind you. You have somebody that you want to talk to. You have somebody you want me to share with. We're here for you. Because our number one goal is to share, right? So backing up to the Beachbody thing, and Don is going to spend some time in an approach we had about approaching a fitness center. But I just want to say that what I teach, my kind of direct line coaches, is there's only two little things that you really have to keep going to keep this to be a business, not a hobby. And Bob Lucido preaches it and teaches it every day. You need to keep your 100 people list, and you need to talk to 2 every day. And your 100 people list and your 10 in play list, which are the 2 people you're talking to every day, right? That's your 10 in play. 2 of those 10 get talked to every day. And that's what I tell my coaches. The learning, the education, the understanding the product is somewhat secondary, because you have Renee. You have Don for fitness, and you have yourselves. And as you grow, you're going to be able to talk just like I'm talking. And, one thing Don said is talk about Shakeology and how great it is. I mean, I think I basically shared with you, the point of my education is that Shakeology has all those things that I was trying to teach people to take every day in a bag. Is it as good as the purity of a glass of green juice? Of course it's not. But if a green juice is 100% squeezed in your juicer, Shakeology is 90%. And for the ease of use, to me, in the long run, if I get somebody to juice every day and I get somebody to do the shake every day, are they equal? No. Juicing is better. And if you have cancer, that's where I'm going to want you to be. But guess what? People aren't going to juice every day. So doing Shakeology every day is way better, right? Okay, so I can talk about Shakeology more specifically at any time, but in terms of your business, it's still having a list of 100 people that you want to reach and having 10 in play at all times. Yeah. And hitting 2 of those 10. Being a product of the product, which you all are. But the last thing I would say is the personal development, right? We have to constantly work on ourselves. I told you about my business background, and I didn't really think when I got into this that I had to go back and rework on personal development. Don knows and he'll laugh. I have been just pounding personal development for about 9 months now. We all just need to keep growing because that's how I'm going to be better at imparting my passion to you guys. And if I can still bring Don Murphy to tears after he's been with me for 12 years, I must be growing. I must be getting better, right, Don?
I swear to God, I don't know what you're going through, but man, it's just unbelievable, Renee. Seriously. It's almost hard to talk about what I was going to talk about. It's, you know, if we all have the knowledge and the passion and the belief that Renee has when we speak to anybody in our circle of influence, well, obviously you're going to do really well with your business. So it's a challenge to all of us to have that level of belief in what we're doing with things like Shakeology and Ultimate Reset, any of the programs and what they do for people. So getting back to the point of this call, how do you get yourself to that level of belief that Renee has, that she's able to bring to tears? It's self-development. It's learning everything there is to know about these products. And it's also in your call it your small number of customers that you might have right now, embracing and sharing the transformation stories that start to come out. You know, what are people experiencing from their consumption of Shakeology that you know personally? What are people experiencing from their journey in Ultimate Reset that you know personally? Those become very powerful testimonials and things that you can share with potential fitness facilities that you might want to approach about offering these programs. I mean, Renee, because of her belief, took her passion and did the things that she said with her staff, but she also communicates day to day with the members of her facility, and has put personally, her and her team have put over 200 people, it's probably even higher now, Renee, I don't know, over 200 people have gone through their Ultimate Reset challenge groups with just dumbfounding results. And what happens is when the people get results, it just spreads and it instills more passion and more belief. And that's how your business grows. So you have the knowledge, you have the belief, you perhaps have some testimonials and stories of not only your customers, but maybe other customers of coaches that you know, that you could come into a fitness facility and say, hey, you live locally, you live nearby, and you've embarked on this wonderful opportunity as a Beachbody coach, and you truly believe that you have a nutrition tool or nutrition tools, Shakeology Ultimate Reset. You have nutrition tools that can really help the members of their facility to achieve the results they want to achieve, to prevent disease in the future, all the things that Renee talked about. And you want to share these tools with the owner in a way that not only can they benefit by helping their members, but that they can also benefit on a business level as well. And, you know, unfortunately, I hate even talking about the business side of it after what Renee has talked about, but most of the gym owners out there, that's where their heads are at. How much money is in it for me? You know, what are my profit margins on the shake? You know, that's what they look at when they decide which vendors they want to team up with to offer things to their members. And there are a lot of gyms out there and fitness facilities that do have some type of nutrition offering or some type of shake bar. But when you look at the reality of what's actually being served, a lot of it is garbage. You know, a lot of it is the unnatural preservatives and additives and sweeteners and things that are not good for the human body, all for the sake of getting some protein into someone that tastes good. You know, it's just like there's just so much sacrifice for the sake of something tasting good and giving us a little benefit, but also some harmful effects that are never talked about. This is different. These tools are as clean as you can get in a gym world, I believe. I don't think there's anything out there that's cleaner than things like Ultimate Reset as a detox or a cleanse, and Shakeology as a daily nutrition shake. So getting in front of that owner in a way, saying with passion and heart, you live in the community, and you're so confident in what these tools will do for their members that you might want to write this down, because this will get them to listen to you. You're willing to work for them for free. That's the wording you could use. You're willing to work for the gym owner for free to share these amazing nutrition tools with their members. Now, in hearing that, an owner's probably going to say, okay, well, what's really in it for you? It comes down to sharing your willingness to be the one to drive or work this aspect of their, call it, nutrition business, the nutrition side of their business. What is it now, if it exists at all? In places like yoga studios and many smaller gyms, they don't have any type of nutrition offering. And they have their members going to GNCs and vitamin shops and buying shakes and all the stuff that's out there. Hey, if they're juicing, like Renee said, fantastic. But the majority of people aren't juicing the way they should on a daily basis. So here's a way for you to work for free by saying to the owner, the only thing that they would have to do if they believe in these nutrition tools as well. So the first thing you'd want to do is just share with them, this is what you would like to bring to the table. Give them samples, give them literature, give them the resources we've provided in our Coach Basics on the value of Shakeology, but also Ultimate Reset. And I don't talk about Ultimate Reset enough, and I need to. So you pull up all the stuff that you have on Ultimate Reset, and you share these with the owner first and foremost. Get them to understand and believe and see, wow, this is stuff that could really benefit my members. Once you have them understanding and seeing that, then it becomes, look, I'd be willing to work this part of your business for free. And the way that we could form a relationship in doing that is that because I live locally, I'd be willing to come here once or twice a month and do sharing events here on site where we could provide samples for your members that you would provide. This is an investment in your business. Don't expect the owner, until they reach that level of myself or Renee, and they see firsthand the results their members are getting, don't expect the owner to be investing in this. But if you believe that it's going to bring the results to their members, and you believe you can set up this partnership with the owner, then you provide the marketing and the resources and your time to run shake and share events, and your time to organize challenge groups with the gym's customers. So the model would look something like this. The gym owner agrees and says, okay, I'm willing to work with you on this. Great. All we need to do is have you become a Beachbody coach, and you would say to the owner, you're going to be part of my business. We're going to be partners in this, and I'll work this for you. And all the customers that you get, so this is you talking to the owner, all the customers that you're going to get for your Shakeology or Ultimate Reset, they're your customers. I don't want any of them. You're generating customers for the owner of the business, because those people that are becoming the customers are their clients to begin with. They're their gym members. They're their yoga class participants. They're their doctors' patients. It's just, they're people that already are part of that business. So they're not your customers. You're just going to do the work to generate customers for the owner. And in doing so, you are now creating team volume, which once you've become an Emerald coach, team volume is what will result in weekly team cycle bonuses for your business. So, you can imagine, guys, for me, Renee is a diamond in a haystack. There's very few Renees out there that are part of the gym world. And for Renee to be doing what she's doing, what that's done for my business in terms of team cycle bonusing, because she has all that customer volume that's happening through her facility. But I didn't, I got lucky. I didn't go and run shake and share events at Renee's facility. I didn't have to, because she trained her staff to do that because of her belief. You're going to have to be the one to do that in the majority of cases with any facilities in your town. But what's in it for the owner? Everything. There's nothing to lose. their only investment in this whole thing is $39.95 to sign up as a coach, and their $15.95 monthly business service fee. You're generating all the customers for them. And for a lot of owners out there, speaking, with my gym owner hat on, the gym world struggles to earn the margins that it used to because of the amount of competition that's out there now. So what has really become a driving mechanism for gym owners and their decisions is anything that will create what is called, this is another term that you might throw out there that'll raise the eyebrow of any owner you speak to, non-dues revenue. It's basically revenue coming in from their existing members and customers that's above and beyond any membership dues. They're getting their customers to spend more money in their facility on a service or a product that's going to help them in getting results. That's called non-dues revenue. So you are helping that gym owner or that business facility, whatever it may be, you're helping the owner generate more non-dues revenue or revenue above and beyond the fees they're paying to be members or to attend classes or whatever it may be. Okay, so you run monthly Shake and Shares. You provide marketing. Today I put on that marketing the Shakeology presentation binder. Take that binder, customize it. It's a PowerPoint document, so you can open up the PowerPoint, get the owner's logo, get the business logo of the facility you want to approach, and put it right on the cover of the binder. Shakeology offered by Joe's Gym. And Joe's Gym is right on the cover of the binder. If you do this type of thing before your sit-down meeting, they're going to be impressed with the fact that, wow, you've even created marketing material for my facility. That's something that you've done for them. They didn't have to go about doing it themselves. The more you make this turnkey and easy for them to create customers in their facility, the more there's no way they're going to say no, as long as they believe in the benefits of Shakeology and or Ultimate Reset. Let me see if I had anything else here. If it's a business that currently has a juice bar offering of some sort, Shakeology, it does not mean it has to replace everything that they're offering. As a matter of fact, in our gym, we have a high quality shake bar that offers a whole variety of different shakes, but Shakeology is part of the menu. We added Shakeology to our existing shake offering. And since offering Shakeology, we've pulled back on a lot of the lesser quality stuff that we used to offer. And you know what was amazing about it? We have had all these thousands of members for so many years. We've had a juice bar for over 20 years. And we've been offering shakes, and it's done quite well through the years. But when we started offering Shakeology, and then we cleaned up the quality of our existing shakes on top of that, our business actually increased because so many more people that never spoke their minds ventured over to the juice bar for the first time. People that are starting to look for cleaner, more pure ways of consuming proper nutrition. They were impressed by the fact that we got rid of a lot of the garbage. And that trend is starting to prevail. So good time to get out there and ahead of the wave as it continues to grow. That's really the gist of what we wanted to bring to the table, and hopefully these ideas and what we're talking about are going to help you. But like we talked about in the beginning, don't make this your primary way of building your coach business. If you have a few eligible facilities in your town, go for it. Go knock on the door, show up with some great education material, show up with some testimonials, and samples, and make it clear that you just wanted to drop off some information and that you have an exciting proposal where, because you work locally, you're willing to work for free for the gym owner. And that might get you the next step of having a formal sit-down meeting. Okay? It was really hard to follow up, Renee, because, wow, I just hit you really hard when you think about what we're doing. And like she said, it's the customers one at a time, you know, not the gym owners. It's the customers one at a time in your challenge groups and fit clubs. It's that compound effect. Renee and I had a call before this to just touch base on how we wanted to present this, and bringing me to tears was not part of the equation. But she mentioned the fact, you know, the compound effect, one step at a time, one person at a time. And every single person you impact and affect is going to have a compound effect in creating others. So just think of your business that way, inviting 2 people a day, talk to 2 people a day that you want to help, and just keep planting those seeds. Renee, before I open it to any questions, do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, just that. Remember that if this is a hobby and not a business, or a business and not a hobby, you need to have 10 in play at all times. If you don't have 10 in play, it's not a business, it's a hobby. And a hobby's okay if that's what you want. My guess is for the people on the call that took time out of their day at noon to be on a call, it's probably a business for you. So make sure you have 10 serious people in play at all times. Follow the Beachbody system.
Yeah.
You know, hit Success Club every month. You know, I'm on my 18th month of hitting Success Club. I didn't understand that the first 6 months. I've only been 2 years. So hit Success Club every month. Be a product of the product. Do your personal development. But this business, the success of this type of business, network marketing, is built on getting a lot of people to do a few things, not a few Renees, a few number of people doing mega things.
Right.
These systems are built on, and what that means is that the customers you touch and then the coaches that you touch, right? So you touch 10 customers, but if you have 10 coaches helping them each touch a customer, right? That's how you're going to build best. And so when you think, again, being business people, you step back, you look at your priorities and say, should I put my effort into, like Don Murphy going, I've got a Renee here. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Don and I started virtually at the same time. We're just a couple months off. So we would get together and teach each other. But if you see a Renee or a Don or that kind of person, a Nicole Jones, a Greg Plaskett, all these names that you hear, then that's who's going to get your time and attention, right? If you want time and attention, you need to be that person, right? You need to step out. You need to be a leader. But just keep in mind, 10 in play is the key. Getting a lot of people to do a little is the key. A lot of people to do a little. Being on this call, right? I've gotten to talk to however many, 25 people today.
Probably 100 more that'll hear the recording.
I've just got to teach, right? And to share with a lot more than if I worked with the 5 people on my list today. So this call was a priority. And a lot of you guys aren't even in my downline.
Yeah.
So remember where where your heart is. The rest will come. God takes care of his people. Just follow what you know is right to do.
Thanks, Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything they want to ask? Yeah, let me go ahead. It says inspire on. I don't know that your name's not showing up. So here, just let me unmute. Hold on.
Okay.
You're unmuted. What's your first name?
I'm Ann. I'm Ann Gallagher.
Oh, hey, Ann. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Great.
Actually, ironically, I have hit some nutritionists and some wellness clinics. So this is absolutely perfect for me. I've only been doing this about a month.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to figure out is the best fit for actually explaining to them, because the bottom line is, yes, it's a phenomenal product, and I'm talking about Shakeology. I've got to get a little bit more up to speed on the Ultimate product. But that being said, what I'm struggling with is, you had mentioned, okay, it only is $39.95 to have them be a coach, plus the $15.95 a month. service fees. So how are either one of you setting this up as far as the profit piece is concerned? Yes, they can be a coach. So how does that work? What's the process there?
It's a secondary business. It's a second business. So in other words, it's no different than you becoming a coach. Let's say you owned a wellness company or owned a nutrition. You were a nutritionist. You had a nutrition business. Becoming a Beachbody coach is just a parallel business.
No, I guess I wasn't clear with my question.
Okay.
So I have an appointment with a chiropractor who is also a nutritionist. So I'm going to make him a coach, but do I sign him up like a challenge pack type of situation where he gets automatic delivery every month? You see where I'm going with this? Because if he signs up just for a coach and the service fees, how does he get paid on the product?
He would get paid by all the customers that would be generated through his facility. So whenever they have a customer, okay, there's two ways that he could go about it.
Okay, there's two
ways to go about it. Yeah, he could have customers that are buying home direct through his coach website. So any of those any of those customer home direct orders going through his coach website are generating $32 and change per month in recurring residual income for something like Shakeology. Or he could do both. He could do, they could buy a small inventory of something like Shakeology bags or packets that they keep on site and then resell. They resell right there in the business. And we do it both ways in our gym. Renee does too. We actually order multiple bags of Shakeology per month at our coach price. So we get it, with the 25% discount for $99, includes the shipping. And then we turn around and we resell those bags on site. And we actually resell on site for $139.95, $10 more than the home direct price. Okay.
So just as a second level question, if they were just to do the $39.95 and the $15.95, what's to prevent, say, one of their, customers or patients or clients or whatever, to then go online and see, oh, gee, I can actually get it for a reduced cost if I, become a coach? And
well, that wouldn't be a bad thing. If they wanted to become a coach, they would have to be sponsored by someone, and who better to sponsor them than that facility owner? Now you're building your team.
Okay.
Now you're building your team, which is a really great thing. Adding coaches is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my struggle. I'm really just trying to figure out the best presentation so that the benefit and they understand, because most of these guys have other products that they're selling too.
Right. So they can have products on site. They would buy the products through their coach site and have them shipped to their facility at their coach cost. And then they can turn around and sell them for whatever they want. They can't sell them for less than the
right. That part I understand. Okay. Well, this was really helpful. I appreciate that.
Excellent.
Like I said, timing was perfect. I was at gyms yesterday, and I've got chiropractors and nutritionists tomorrow.
Excellent.
So
that's fantastic. Yeah. And if you need any assistance, just reach out. Send me a personal message if you want to connect on anything further.
Okay. I appreciate that, Don. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to add? You also have, I see we have some messages in the chat box down here. Actually, yeah, there was a comment that came in via chat. The 3-day refresh, is another shorter term nutrition type program that can help people get started. And this is just where fitness facilities and yoga studios, they're often lacking. They don't offer anything. They suggest stuff, but then the people run out to the stores and buy whatever they're going to buy. Why not have the owner of those businesses benefit nutritionally from the recommendation?
Let me add something to that, because we're actually starting a new program in the fall, Don. I would say with your individual customers and your challenge groups, if you have people that can afford it, frankly, wouldn't it be amazing to start every challenge group with a 3-day refresh?
Yeah.
And have all your customers start a 3-day refresh, because we all know what's going to happen, right? They're going to have big results in 3 days. They're going to be out of the gate running, so excited, and then roll into their PIO or their, 21-day fix or whatever. But gosh, I mean, and I know, so that would be 160 plus, then whatever other fitness program they were to get. So PIO would be, PIO's a $60 program by itself. So, you're looking at, we're looking at the low 200s, which is not out of the question for those kinds of programs, because P90X and T25 are that much anyway.
And you could even do it as an either or option. You say, it's almost like here we have our base offering, which is going to be your exercise program and your Shakeology. But then we have a premium offering where we're going to start you out with a 3-day, what we call our 3-day refresh. It's going to really jumpstart your nutrition and get you some immediate results in the first 3 days. Then we launch you into the program. That's our premium offering. There's so many ways you can create your business and how you present the options to your customers.
Always think about that word belief, guys. How can I get them to believe the truth about whatever? So how can we get them to understand that nutrition is really the biggest component of their journey? Okay, we all have learned that. The fitness centers have learned that the hard way. Everybody signs up for gym memberships and they don't work because we can't control our nutrition. So if you can get them to understand that concept, and then understand that the 3-day refresh or the ultimate reset is going to be the quickest education for them to learn nutrition. It's the quickest way for you to learn it, because like anything, we have a hardcore weight loss program, and they work with a trainer 3 days a week and get pushed fitness-wise, right? And then they realize why the gym membership didn't work. The gym membership didn't work because from a fitness perspective, they could not push themselves like a trainer pushes them. And they realized that exactly how hard they had to run on that treadmill to have an impact, because somebody taught them. So now, once they finish our program, they can do whatever because they understand how hard they have to push themselves. But we have to show them everything. So on the nutrition front, they get shown and educated through the 3-day refresh on a small scale, but they really learn it big time. And you need to convince them that education, the other one that's beautiful that I love, it, of course, is the 21-day fix. Another way that they learn portion control, they learn balanced nutrition. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that they need to be educated, and you need to explain to them that they need to be educated.
And you're the one that can provide that education. It's your willingness to step up and be the leader for the programs. You be the knowledgeable guru, the way Renee is, more than anyone I know, to be able to stand in front of a group of people and educate and explain the benefits of these wonderful programs. That's going to be very, very inspiring for the gym owner. Your willingness to do that with their, you're removing the gym owner from having to take on that responsibility. You do it on their behalf. And as they see what's happening to their members, they'll start believing. Believe me, they'll start asking a lot more about this business and how to, take it to another level. So we've gone over an hour, guys, and this has been fantastic. Does anybody have any other questions? Go ahead, just raise your hand if you do. Renee, you good?
I'm good.
All right, guys, thanks a million. Middle of the day, and wonderful call. Renee, you're a beautiful person. Seriously, thanks a million.
You're welcome, buddy.
Very inspiring. Have a great day, everyone.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.